Quang was I had a service, I had skills and knowledge, but I didn't know exactly how to get those clients and how to communicate with them.
Hey, this is Quang Queen, founder of Lionpreneur. Today is my masterclass, and this is a sneak peek of what you expect when you jump into my masterclass.
It's just totally next level. I've not seen any coaches that are doing the quality and the vastness of what he's covering in his course, in his coaching.
What I really like about Quang is he's quite proactive in his approach, and he really allows you to grow within yourself and for your own self-development. So Quang is fantastic.
In a way, you want that from a coach because he will get the best out of you.
You want to join this exclusive club? Hear more from down there.
What brought me and attracted me to Quang was I had a service, I had skills and knowledge, but I didn't know exactly how to get those clients and how to communicate with them.
Hey, this is Quang Queen, founder of Lionpreneur. Today is my masterclass, and this is a sneak peek of what you expect when you jump into my masterclass.
It's just totally next level. I've not seen any coaches that are doing the quality and the vastness of what he's covering in his course, in his coaching.
What I really like about Quang is he's quite proactive in his approach, and he really allows you to grow within yourself and for your own self-development. So Quang is fantastic.
In a way, you want that from a coach because he will get the best out of you.
You want to join this exclusive club? Hear more from down there.
What brought me and attracted me to Quang was I had a service, I had skills and knowledge, but I didn't know exactly how to get those clients and how to communicate with them.
Hey, this is Quang Queen, founder of Lionpreneur. Today is my masterclass, and this is a sneak peek of what you expect when you jump into my masterclass.
It's just totally next level. I've not seen any coaches that are doing the quality and the vastness of what he's covering in his course, in his coaching.
What I really like about Quang is he's quite proactive in his approach, and he really allows you to grow within yourself and for your own self-development. So Quang is fantastic.
In a way, you want that from a coach because he will get the best out of you.
You want to join this exclusive club? Hear more from down there.
What brought me and attracted me to
Hey guys, who is here?
but I didn't know
Who is here? Welcome to my workshop. Did you like that presentation? I managed to hook that up through some complex software engineering, and that will be another workshop. So let me know let me see the comments. Cool. So we got Monzo Jeezy, Mr. Dongo. I'll call you Mr. Dongo. We got here Ananya from India. How are you? Caitlin's here. She rocks. Georgette's here. We got here Winnie. We got here Afran from Naraguria. I don't know where's that. Maybe you can enlighten us. So guys, I know this is your precious time. It's 3 p.m. You guys are probably taking some time off. Let me know in the comments below that you can hear my audio. There is some sort of complex setup that I have here, so just let me in the comments below that you can hear me. There's a bit of a delay because I'm streaming this from another software. Just let me know whether you guys can hear me. Just either drop a yes. I'm gonna see whether I can hear myself.
What I really like about Quang, proactive.
Let me see. Bear with me, technology.
Allows you to grow within yourself.
Yes, you can hear me. Awesome.
Self-development. So
Awesome, guys. Awesome. So, see. Awesome. All right, awesome. Okay, so we got 12 people here. I'm gonna monitor the comments. We're gonna go straight into it. Georgie's here. Debbie's here. Let me turn off the audio. Debbie's here. Awesome, guys. Fantastic. So today we're going to learn how to produce 30 days of content in 5 days without replace that blank space or the yucky feelings of feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you're waking up every morning thinking, oh my God, what I'm going to post today? How do I keep my content consistent? And some of you guys have answered in your survey. Thanks for filling that survey. Is whether it's going to ruin your reputation. Where should you post? Should it be on my Facebook page? Should it be on my Facebook business page? Should it be even on Facebook at all? Should it be on LinkedIn, Instagram? All those things you have today, I'm going to answer them in this 5-day workshop. So first of all, I want you guys to really interact in this group and let me know who here wants to get more leads. Who here wants to get more leads? Who here wants to attract the right clients? Are you guys experiencing that problem where you're attracting sort of clients that cannot pay for your services? Clients that are either tire kickers or clients that just are time wasters. When you get on the phone, they're not pre-qualified because they have sort of misunderstood your messaging. And who here wants to scale their business online? Obviously with COVID-19, a lot of brick and mortar stores are closing up. I can see some of my friends and colleagues, they're closing doors as well. They are also aggressively trying to scale online. And the biggest thing that they have is, well, how do I do it properly? And in this 5-day workshop, I'm going to answer that for you. And the thing is, I want to know, has everyone actually got this one? Has everyone got this? This is the workshop workbook. So if you haven't got it, just drop a comment. I will send it to you via email. I believe I've sent it to everyone. Look, you can actually do this workshop without this, but it just helps because it shows you what is evergreen content, what is our goal for the next 5 days, and it allows you to write stuff. And I learned from many mentors is when you write things down, it sticks in your mind better. We have about 5 times retention rate when we write things down. And what I want you to do is use this workbook, write things down day by day. Don't rush it. Just do day one's assignment after this workshop. And then go back before you go to sleep. Just refresh your mind. Because there's a lot of things that we're going to cover today that would probably blow your mind. You might have heard of it before, those who are in the coaching space. However, it's my spin on it. And it's something that has worked for me. Now, I want to acknowledge everyone for being here today. We got here Debbie. We got here Georgie, Winnie, we got Caitlin, everyone here, and everyone that's going to watch this replay in the future is, I do know this is a part of your time, and time is precious, so I'm going to make awesome stuff to deliver and overly deliver today. Now, what makes this workshop different? You can see that there's a lot of webinars going on, a lot of workshops going on. What makes this workshop different is I'm going to show you how I personally batch my content, so that like I don't actually wake up every day and think, what do I write today? Where do I post? I actually have a content planner where I batch it. So I might spend the weekends to do my research, test the market to see what's the current pains and objections that will stop them from using my services, and produce that content, batch it, and then allocate that into the next 30 or 60 days. So I'm going to show you that. The reason that this workshop is different from other workshops is I'm a practitioner of these advice I'm going to give you and teach you today. And also it has worked for me. I literally, if you guys know my story, I used to be a finance broker about 7 years ago, and I only sold my business literally about 7 or 8 months ago. And before that, I was transitioning, coaching and running my business. And before that, I was a public speaking coach. So 6 months ago, literally, I pivoted and thought, hey, people actually needed marketing more than public speaking. Because public speaking clients don't re-sign you. They get their confidence and then they move out. Marketing clients, there's a high rate of re-sign. So I pivoted, and my brand has grown so much in 6 months. And you know, I've got it recorded as well. I saw my accountant. I actually made $100,000 already from that brand, from not being known as a branding marketing coach. then I utilize those skill sets to do that. And also my clients have done the same as well, and not just coaches, because I can see that there are some coaches here, there's part-time coach, there's people who are thinking of being a coach, there's entrepreneurs, those are in real estate, those are working in companies. We also have self-employeds, right? Those are who are not a coach but run a business. And I fit all those categories. I was self-employed before, wasn't a coach, then became sort of a quasi-coach. These techniques still work for you because at the end of the day, you just need attraction. You need to know what's your sales process, and then you need to deliver on your products and services so that you promise them, you give them what they promise. So that's why this workshop is different. And also in terms of writing, I have actually produced a book and applied it to my own business. So this is on Amazon.com. It's called Keep Calm and Mortgage On. So I'll tell you the story before when I used to think writing a book is the best avenue to have authority, and it wasn't. It was only when I jumped on social media that I got this award. And I'm not showing this to brag to you. I'm only showing you my results. All right. So I got the Young Guns Broker Award in 2017, and I wrote $40 million of home loans from being a nobody, and that was literally from using just social media branding, which I spent $0 on. So, so that's what I want to teach you today, and what's makes this workshop different. My goal for you today is 30 days of content for you in 5 days, systematically. Okay, I'll give you assignments so it feels like there's milestones that you can hit every single day by filling out this worksheet. Okay, and the next thing is all this marketing, all this stuff, it's just all fluff, right? It's all fluff if it doesn't get results, if it doesn't attract the right clients, and the right client doesn't come to you, and you don't have the proper sales process to close them on emotional selling rather than facts and features. So that's the importance of a brand. When people buy from you because of your brand, they know, like, and trust you. Because we're guilty of this, right? We sometimes buy from people that are kind of expensive if we were to shop it around, but we bought from that person because we like them. We like their story, we like their brand, and we want to be associated to that person. It's like, why do we want to buy an LV bag or a Chanel bag? It's because that bag gives us that status, versus if we can go get a bag from Kmart. Yes, it does the same job and probably is more durable, but it doesn't give you that significance. So that's what we're trying to sort of sprinkle over your current business. And some of you, I saw in the comments, is like you have no brand at all, you have no clue. So this is a pretty cool workshop for you. And also I'll show you how. So the next thing I want you guys to know is whether this is for you. This is definitely for you if currently you are struggling to get leads online. Obviously right now everyone's focused on getting leads online or social media because we can't see anybody. We don't know how long the lockdown laws are going to be. We don't know how COVID-19 will span out. And we basically don't want to keep bleeding, right? Because our business is bleeding at the moment. And social media is free. The internet is cheap. Yet we are now forced to embark this thing called the internet, which has been existed for many, many years. It's a good opportunity to face it, but you got to do it properly. And I'll show you that there are many ways to do it incorrectly, which will ruin your brand and have the adverse effect. So right now, I want to know is, does everyone know what evergreen means? Can you drop in the comments of do you know what does evergreen mean? Do you guys know? Because I don't want to assume you know what evergreen is, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know this. So that I'll use this. Just drop in comments. Do you guys know what evergreen is? What is evergreen content? Okay, evergreen. Okay, I'm just gonna really check the comments. Yes, got it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, people got the workbook. Cool. Okay. Well, drop your comments. What evergreen is, it's content, as you saw in the workbook, it's timeless content. It's content that talks about the pains of your prospect. You got to understand problems that face your prospect never change. Okay? So what happens is, why do we use evergreen content? Do you guys know why we use evergreen content? The reason we use evergreen content is you can produce content for, say, 30 days, which we're doing today, right? Wait 2 months, and then reuse the same content from here, just reword it, like change a verb, switch some sentence, add a new picture, and suddenly you have another 30 days of content without stressing about how to do and better the last content you did. The reason why this works is because people are literally, and my drawing is kind of bad, goldfish. People watch content, they go, that's amazing, and what happens afterwards, they forget about it. So there is a strategy where every 2 months you can still redo the same 30 days of content into the, say, the 3rd or 4th month, do it in a way where you tweak it a bit, and you can do this all in advance. You can have like the next 60 days of content, next 90 days of content, if you bother to sit down strategically for, say, 1 day to map it all out in a calendar and a spreadsheet, and then do that. And if you cannot be bothered to post it, there are people from the Philippines, virtual assistants, who would post this content for you in a protected way, which I can give you more knowledge about that if you need that. You do not physically need to post the content, or you can give it to someone like a staff. You guys still have staff, because some people are on JobKeeper, you don't want to fire them, they're still there. Get them to do that for you, and then your social media grows within this time period rather than them sitting there doing nothing. Or you can do it yourself. It's not hard. Especially if you are planning to grow a business page. A business page allows you to schedule 8 weeks in advance, schedule content. You can't do it on a personal page. However, you got to weigh up what's important. Some of you, I know, that have personal pages, that's for personal reasons. I get it. While some of you use your personal page tactically for business purposes. But don't forget, your business page can have up to more than 5,000 followers, even up to 1 million followers or 2 million followers. Your personal page is only up to 5,000. So consider that, okay? So it's something that I'm adopting in my personal business page. And with your business page, you can actually run ads. If you have really good content, you can run ads to get more likes. But that is a different webinar. That's a different webinar. But today, that is what evergreen is. If you guys let me know if that is cool with everyone. Any comments? No. Evergreen. So David knew is like content that doesn't go out of date. Caitlin's like it's a time of tree. David was like evergreen all year round. Yeah, evergreen all year round, David. Just like I'll show you what is not evergreen content. Evergreen content is you're constantly talking about COVID-19, right? You're constantly talking about COVID-19, or if you're in Australia, you talk about Anzac Day, right? Or just seasonal content that is only applicable in that time period. So if you talked about COVID-19 and say COVID-19 blows away next month and you're about to use it 2 months later, you're not going to talk about COVID-19, right? Because it has no more significance. However, if you're going to talk about, say, the three tips, that stops your target market from achieving whatever goal, money goal, personal goals, right? That is evergreen, because these tips are applicable to this target market want money. People always want money. People always want a better relationship. People always want a better confidence or increase of confidence. That is always evergreen. And I don't want to spend too much time on that, because I just wanted to make sure that people don't get lost when they're doing their homework and they're like, oh, What's evergreen? And I didn't do the homework because I don't know what is evergreen. And now, by understanding evergreen, this is the first page. I want to get to the crux of it. Is the niche triangle. Okay, so if everyone is looking at this page, and do tell me if you don't have it, I'll send it to you. So what it is, this is called the niche triangle. And hopefully that you guys can see that. Right, I can see that, it's over here. Okay, so this is the niche triangle. So my paid program is basically called the niche branding sales mastery. This is where my clients pay me to teach them this. And I'm just showing you the actual concept of it. Okay, so this is called the niche triangle. So what does this represent? And I want you guys to really work, because today this is called a workshop, which means you're gonna do some work. So pull that out, have a look at it. Okay, niche triangle, cool. So June's here. Hey June. So the niche triangle, why do you need to think about a niche triangle? Why niche, why branding, why sales? Because you need these 3 pillars to succeed online, okay? Or to succeed anywhere in terms of business. You need to know who your target audience is. You need to have great branding to separate you from the rest. And then you need to have a sales system to close them on your products and services. But why a triangle? Because the thing is, you got to understand here is that with the current market you're in, there is a thing called being general, right? Broad stroke marketing. And this is where a lot of marketers and a lot of business owners fail. They think that if they target everybody, they have a higher chance of getting business. But that is right in a way. But when you're heading to everything, when you give them the offer, which is your sales and your services at the end, if it's too broad, it becomes weak because you're not specific at that person's pain. So let me give you an example. So if I was to say to you, my elbow hurts, right? I've got a pain just right in the middle of my elbow, right? And right now, when I wake up, I can only sleep on my right side because I can't sleep on my left side. It keeps me up at night. Probably awake around 2 a.m. at night, and it's hurting me. I'm getting migraines. Now think of that as your avatar, your client that's out there. They're walking around with this pain in this noisy market, right? And suddenly you have someone that comes out and goes, I am a I am a pain healer. It could be an acupuncturist, or I could be someone that solves a health problem. And I can solve any health problems, right? Come to me, I'll give you a free discount, free consultation, and I'll address all your pains. Versus someone who puts in a nice sort of post or an ad or any type of medium and says, hey, if you are waking up in the middle of the night and you feel that your left arm has a specific pain between this bone here and it's causing you migraine, listen, I've got 3 awesome tips that I can give you to solve this pain in 24 hours. Download this guide. Message me right now. Who do you think the person which I'm playing the customer will go to? Put in the comments below. Will you go to the generalist? That is, I serve everybody. Or you go to the person number 2 that was very specific in identifying my pain. Because when you identify someone's pain, they feel understood. You gotta understand that people buy from you because they feel understood. And there's a level of understoodness, if that is a way. So let me know, either the generalist or the specialist. Let me know in the comments below, who would that person go to? Who, if you had that problem, who would you go to? Number 2, physio. Thanks, Georgie. Will you go to the physio? Hey, Catherine, how are you doing? Thanks for jumping on. I'll give you the tripod link soon. All right. Catherine did my 7 days video challenge, and she came in kicking and screaming, going, "Oh, I don't want to do videos because I suck at it." And now she's harassing me for what's the best tripod to put my phone on. You see that transformation? She hated it, and now she loves it, and she's like, "Give me some gear. I want to improve my video." So good on you, Catherine. Love the transformation. So you can see that if you guys don't apply this NBS system or whatever it is, it's the triangle system, right? Then you are basically a GP. You want to be a specialist, right? Now a GP gets paid maybe good money, not as good as a specialist that gets paid premium money, right? And as people that's online, there's two types of business owners that are jumping on social media. Two types. They are the ones that I call them the low income, right? Low income, fill in the bank coach, business owner, real estate agent, mortgage broker, whoever's is on that's got watching this. I saw some survey, there was like mortgage brokers, business owners, accountants. Low income versus high income, fill in the blank, coach, business owner. The difference between these two things is this person is doing a shotgun approach, boom, and scatters everybody. This person is a sniper, right? I've got a pretty bad sniper going on. This person is a sniper, targets the pain, sends out a message that hits the ideal clients, pre-qualifies all that, doesn't waste time on all these tire kickers out there, and establishes themselves as the brand authority through branding. So hopefully you guys understand that. And what I want you guys to know is this has given my clients from making $2,000 to then shifting to making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. I've got real estate agents and developers who are my clients. One of them is making $70,000 a month selling properties, right, online through virtual tours, but with specific messaging. I've got developers who are selling land like crazy. He made about $200,000 like 3 months ago during COVID. So there are people that would always crush it in every industry or any situation. You want to be the people and the persons that are crushing it versus those who do not know the strategy. So let's go and do an exercise right now. The exercise right now, guys, is, I've got some notes here, is the exercise right now is write down in the comments below, who do you serve? Right? If you have that table, I want you to draw a line here, and write down, who do you serve? Who do you serve? All right? Just write that in the comments below. Who do you serve? Let everyone know, who do you serve? Hey, Usha. Who do you serve, guys? Who do you serve? Let's do it together. Because I'll blow your mind later. Alright, who do you serve? Alright, let's have a look. Okay. Put in the comments below, who do you serve? And after you guys have put in who do you serve, write down what is the results that you can do. So who do you serve and what is the results? So this is how I want you to do it. Okay, I put in a verb. Put in a verb. Who's your target audience, right? So that they can your result without pain. So you can do that for me. So verb could be coach, motivate, empower, support, provide clarity, target market. Who is it that you serve? Don't say everybody. And I want you to get very specific in this triangle. Is it a male? Is it a female? Is it a male that is between 30 to 40? Is it a female that is 50 to 60? You got to know in every life cycle of a person's age, there are different types of problems. A male that's 18 to 22 would have a different problem from a male that's 38 to 45. Be specific on what do you do, who's your target market, and put it in the comments below, because that's the way you learn, by implementing as we go. So I've got here Georgie, women with cancer. Catherine is professionals and entrepreneurs who want to reinvent themselves to live a life of passion and purpose. A mindset for wellness and healing. I empower women to create unstoppable confidence. Great. So out of the three, now, Georgie, mindset for wellness and healing. Okay. But who is it that you serve? And you don't need to write this down. I want you to think. That is a bit general. And Caitlin, if you can write, that's great. I empower women to create unstoppable confidence, which is the result without what? If you can make that specific without, I don't know, without doing 50 hours of meditation, without, listening to 60, 70 hours of Tony Robbins, is there something that they hate to do that you can get them the results? Is there a way that you can get them confidence without that thing, that process pain, right? You got to think, who do you serve and what do they hate in that process that you can take away, that you can do. So to give you an example, so my hook for my 7 days video challenge, which got about 45 people, was, how to produce amazing marketing videos, or how to produce 14 amazing marketing videos in 7 days without going to film school, right? Without learning crazy apps, right? So then people will be like, well, I want to do your thing, but I don't want that. But because you're saying that I don't need to do that, I'm more than likely to do things with you. So if there's more stuff that you guys can have, women, so Winnie, professionals, and they're sitting in progress. All right, cool. Aspiring artists who, so I got here Ananya, aspiring artist who wants to rekindle their childhood passion for art, overcome fear, and master watercolors. Yeah, that's cool, guys. Just add the without. It'll give you a bit more clarity. So now that you're filling this in, I want you to guys to now go down and ask yourself, right? And ask yourself, what would, so this is what you provide, right? Now ask yourself here, move down the triangle. What would happen to this target market or this specific audience that you're serving and making your offer to? What will happen to them if they don't take your service? What is something that's negative? So to give you an example, so let's take an example here. Okay. So for Catherine, I empower professionals and entrepreneurs so they can live a life of passion and purpose. Okay, now you gotta ask yourself, if they don't take up your service to feel empowered and they don't live a life of passion and purpose, what happens here? What is the negative impact if they don't do this? What is the negative impact if they don't do this? Can you guys drop in the comments below, what is the negative impact if they don't do what you are offering? We want to step down. As you can see in this table, there's a person over here. So that is like either a spiritual death or even like worst case death. But we don't want to get that far, right? This is like oblivion. This is like the abyss. So we want to go down that chain so that we know the customer's pain tolerance, okay? And their phases of where they're at. So can you tell me in the comments, what happens if they don't take up your service? I'll check the comments. Okay. So I'll give you guys a few minutes to think about what happens if, for example, Caitlin, you're saying, I empower women to create unstoppable confidence. So what happens if they don't get the confidence that they need? If they keep living that life with minimal confidence, if they keep living that 10% life, and they keep doing it over and over again, playing the same stories in their mind, having the same system of thinking, what would result underneath that? So this is meeting you. This is if they are meeting you or meeting someone or meeting anyone to seek that service, if they don't play like that, what is the negative attribute? So I want to look here. Okay, so I got here, poor relationship, unhappy, thinking what if. Poor relationship with self and others, emotional avoidance, lack of boundaries, stay stuck. So that's Caitlin. I got a Winnie Rabon, living in the past, depression, loss of energy, and money. Don't trust. Okay, cool. So let's take an example here, right? So let's take, you guys seem to have like poor relationships, okay? So say if poor relationships is here, what will happen to them if they don't do anything about their poor relationships? What is the next stage? And I want you to think not in general, right? Just think, would they get a divorce? Will they not see their son anymore? Would they lose that custody battle? Or would they lose that job? Think about it. If they don't do this, then they have poor relationships. And if they don't honor and still stay stuck in the poor relation and it gets worse, what happens next? Give me a practical phase where would you say it's, just think about it. So write it down. I'm just going to go outside because I don't want to keep asking you guys because you guys sort of get the idea. So poor relationships. So if they don't fix their poor relationships, then they will probably end up in a divorce, right? Or they have a breakup, right? And then if they don't fix their divorce and breakup and keep going with what they've got, right? I'm just going to check whether you guys... Loneliness. Okay, cool. So then they will deal with loneliness, right? They'll feel lonely. But then think about practical things that's going on in your prospect's mind. If they end up in a divorce, what happens? They go to court, right? If they break up, they're lonely. So what happens when they get lonely? They would probably be by themselves. They probably would have to, I guess, move out, right? They'll have to move out, right? They have to move out. Now, if they go to court and have to move out, well, where will they move, right? Well, they'll have to find some place to rent, right? And they'll probably lose money, right? They will probably be on a single income. And you get what I'm going, right? And then you go, oh, well, what happens when they can't afford rent and they lose their job because they're getting less and less confident with themselves. And here, Catherine was like, depression, addiction. So there you go. So then they'll get into depression, right? And then they have addiction, right? And then what happens is they might end up losing their job, right? And then when they end up losing their job, then you can go worse than that, but I usually stop here, is they'll be homeless, and then yada, yada, yada gets worse until someone says goodbye. They exit the game. You know what I mean? So the reason for that exercise, guys, is that you understand the practicality of this is that, yes, they're using you for your services, but you have to understand if they don't use your services, they go through several life-changing milestones which are negative, which would affect it. And sometimes you don't know where your client is at. And this is just really broad milestones, right? You can go specific, right? They can be lonely, and then the next stage is they would feel isolated, and then if they feel isolated, they'll go to use drugs, or they start abusing certain substances, or they start missing the promotion, or they start staying in a stuck job that they don't like. So the reason you need to know that is sometimes this is called your customer's journey, right? This is your customer's journey, right? Every customer that goes to you who needs your help will be at some certain stage of this journey, right? And you need to know where this journey ends. Well, obviously this journey ends if they consider suicide, and that's obviously something that we don't want to really, you know, wish that for our client. But when I'm just saying, if you can start from them feeling at their lowest point, the lowest of the lowest point, then you gotta ask yourself, guys. And before I go ahead and go back and reverse engineer this, is there any questions? Does everyone get this exercise? Is everyone doing this exercise? Do you understand why I'm doing this exercise? Because I don't want to, because it's pretty hard, because now I'm streaming this and there's a lag. Just put down if thumbs up if everything's still good, or a question mark if you have a question. Awesome. So Georgette was saying this is a good exercise. Fantastic. Thank you for the feedback, Georgette. Okay. So Catherine's like, move home to parents, in and out sickness, weight problems, other issues by Georgie. Ananya is like, feel guilty and sad they are unable to pursue their childhood passion. Fantastic. And that's fantastic. Lack of self-trust. Marika Zhang is like, don't trust themselves anymore. So great. So now you got to think right now, right? This is where your content comes in. And this, before I say that, you now know you have a moral obligation as a person, as a coach, as a business owner, or whatever you do that is offering the empowering verb to empower, to transform your target market so that they can get the result they want without the certain pain. You now have a moral obligation that if they don't do this, they will reach their lowest point. That lowest point could be spiritual death, could be physical death, could be them either jumping off the building. We don't want to endorse that, but it's that bad if they don't go and use your services. So you are morally obligated to get up every day and produce content to help these people that you're serving. So then you got to understand, if they are in isolation, they don't want to talk anymore, they're stuck at home. You now got to ask yourself, okay, reverse engineer. If they're at the lowest point in their life, what can you, Georgette, Caitlin, Catherine, Georgie, and those, Ananya, and those who are watching, Erica, how do you get them back up here? Think about it for a second. They're in isolation, maybe not homeless, because this is like, you know, maybe like losing job stage, right? They're losing their job. They're on the brink of losing their job. How do you get back? So this is like losing job. This is like total isolation. This is like total effed up. How do you get them back to just kind of feeling like, I'm kind of depressed, but I'm okay. I can still go back to work. How do you get them back to here? Have a think about it, and I'll give you the answer. Well, the thing is, you got to give them content. Right? So think about it. We all have access to Google. We all have life experiences. If someone are in the brink of losing their job and they're facing kind of depression, what type of guide or ebook or content can you give to this person that you're not giving to someone that's up here? So then your content will be something about like, you know, if you are on the brink of losing your job, here are 3 tips to get you back on board, right? Or here are a table of resources that you can go and find meaning in your job again. Or here are guides that I can give you for free, or could be part of your program, that you can give them to get out of depression. Right? Maybe there's things they can identify in themselves that they are addicted at the moment. Because at the moment, they're in this phase. Now, we have a bird's eye view of where they are. Sometimes when people are in this phase, they don't know where the hell they are. They just think that they're tugging along and that's life. So you got to think, what is the content that give hope with your content? Yes, give hope, give them to think about a stage when they were happy before. Yeah, so that's good, right? So Catherine's like, get them to think about a stage when they were happy before, right? So let's take an example. Catherine, you're like, get them to think about a stage. Now you got to understand, people in this stage, they lost their job, their depression, they don't know who you are, or maybe they've been following you. Is there a cheat sheet that you can give them? Is there like a checklist you can give them, right? Rather than go, hey, here's a post, read it. This will remind you to feel happy again. Most likely you're not going to hit the target, right? But if you said, hey, I've got this free ebook, and you guys know how to use Word documents, and you guys know how to use Google. Doesn't stop you from paraphrasing certain things and put it into, or using Canva, which is like a online, drag and drop content. Here's a 5-page e-guide to remind you why it's important to keep going. And in this guide, there's a workbook. You just need to ask yourself 5 questions, fill it out, check some boxes, and then at the end it goes, oh well, if you have satisfied these criteria, you're going okay. If not, there is a few numbers I've collected for you all over the internet, and you can actually call these numbers. Or these are certain affirmations that I've collected for you that you can read every day, right? And if you need any help at the end of that guide is, well, if you want like a 30 minutes session with me, I'm happy to give you a free session, and I can talk about that with you. Do you think that's much more helpful to a person that is at this stage of their life, rather than just doing post? Post is still good, but this will be a call to action post. Who wants a copy of this? I mean, who do you think at the moment needs this the most? Like, we're in COVID-19. And obviously I'll show you guys how to research and stuff, but that would be applicable for this phase of the client. And I'll check the comments later because I want to sort of keep going. Then you got to ask yourself now, okay, cool, I've given them this content, right? Because this is the customer's journey, right? They're not ready to buy from yet, okay? You got to understand, a customer buys at their own pace. A customer buys at their own pace. A customer doesn't buy because you said, hey, by the way, you want to jump on a call? Let's do a sales strategy session, a clarity session, or let's jump on like a free quote section. If you're not a coach, you're self-employed. Let's give you a free quote and then expect them to buy from you at that end when they're cold and they have not ever got anything from you. You are not buying at their pace. You're buying at your pace, right? It's like me calling you from the yellow pages and trying to cold call you. Why do we hate cold callers? Because they interrupt our pace. It kills trust. So if you know and you can successfully map out your customer's pace by honestly saying, if this person didn't do this, what will happen? And then have like several layers of where that person's at. And you can systematically produce content meaningfully and give that to them for free if you want, or you can charge like $5 if you want. Just link it to your PayPal account. So, hey, if you want this, jump on this, pay for it, I'll give it to you. Or you can give it to them for free. It's only $5 or for free. Then you are actually moving them up into this sort of triangle where the next phase is, now they're no longer facing depression or addiction. They are probably facing a breakup problem, right? They're in court. They're no longer taking. They're not depressed. They're just in this poor relationship, and it's got so bad they're in court and they're moving out and they're kind of feeling lonely, right? or they're going through divorce. So what type of ebooks can you get, type of posts or guides that you can give this person? Now, the reason I'm starting with guides first, guys, is the guides can then be repurposed to post content. So you only need to do one guide, and that becomes your post content on social media, right? It can be a quote, right? And then it could be a video later, right? But you need to start off with some sort of physical thing that they can go, oh wow, this is really valuable, right? Because everybody's posting these days. Everyone on social media is posting every single day. Bam, 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 bam. What separates you from them? Well, because you've given them some actual 5-page guide that is in that phase, right? Then if you can give them something about, hey, this is like a guide. If you're, getting divorced and you go through court, this is something I collect online. I've done all the heavy lifting for you. Here it is. Read it. If you're facing problems, this is what you can do, right? And then if you have any calls at the last page, give me a buzz. Or if you're moving out and your partner just ended that fight with you and you got kicked out, these are certain things I've collected around the internet for you because you're not in the emotional mindset to deal with it. But here is. It's got all the links, all the numbers, and the reason I'm saying that, guys, is this is evergreen. Would you agree that, I'm just trying to check comments, exactly, cool, right? Can't wait for our chat. Okay, so you got to know that these stuff are evergreen because you can say that every human being goes through this, right? For example, if I was to have low confidence, I wouldn't have done this webinar. And then if I don't do this webinar, I would probably not show up in other areas of my life. And if I was to have more fights with my spouse, we have a poor relationship. And if relationship gets worse, I don't deal with it. It gets worse and worse. We shout. We're always stuck at home. We might consider having a divorce. Let's split up. We don't do anything about it. I'll get lonely, right? And then I might go to the bottle, take drugs, and I have to deal with the court. I have to move out. I've got to deal with the spouse, custody. And then I'm going to face rent issues. Maybe I will lose my job because I'm not jumping on and showing up, right? Because I'm all, this is where I base all my income on, which is on social media. I'll get depressed. I'll lose my job and I'll be homeless. We all go through this phase. But sometimes as business owners, we think about selling our services without solving a problem. We think we're solving one problem, but there's many other problems that we could solve that we sometimes get caught that, oh, it's not my skill set. I don't know anything about the court system. I don't know about rent. I don't know about losing jobs. That's not my problem, right? But if you were to change your head and go, hey, I know about all these things that would go that my target market, because you're not going to say this for everybody. If you serve women between 30 and 45, then you're messaging about women who 30, 35, that is an accountant that is facing that problem, or that is a solicitor, or that is in plumbing or electricals or cabling, or a particular coach that's facing the problem. Then your material will always be evergreen because those people who ever need that problem, you'll always have some sort of guide in any type of phases when you're on the phone with them or when you're speaking to them. Here's a guide. And look, essentially, you can have like 4 or 5 guides in your hip pocket and essentially dish it out. And that's evergreen. It never changes because people will always go through this phase. So then, guys, you want to move them to here, which is getting them the results. So the result is, for some of you guys, you're saying confidence. There's a lot of mindset coaches here. So absolutely, exactly. So confidence. But you got to understand, this is the problem you're solving at the moment is the basic of where they should be. Then you can sell them your high end, which is running out of space, which is beyond that. How about 10x your confidence? What about getting a better job? What about getting a tougher mindset to conquer a goal that you want in your life? What about climbing Mount Everest? Have you thought about all these amazing goals you haven't done? But do not sell that if your audience is here. They don't care about their extreme goals. They just want to not be homeless, right? Or they just want to not get divorced, right? And it could be for anything, you know, health, and wealth, health, and relationships. These three things we all want in our lives: wealth, health, and relationships. We want more money. We want to have a fitter body so we can keep functional, and we have better relationships. Whatever niche you're in, we're also doing the same thing. But the reason they go to you is because you are a specialist at your role. So you're no longer a GP, you're a specialist. You know what you're talking about. Well, we all know what we're talking about, right? But because you have branded yourself in solving, for example, let me look at some niches here. Okay, so say if you guys solve women problems, right? I want to say women problems, like women with self-confidence issues. Then your brand would be, I help women between the age of 40 and 45. You don't say that. You're maybe I help corporate women to improve and get unstoppable confidence without, right, spending more than 10 hours a week on meditation, right? Because sometimes we think to get peaceful, we need to meditate more, and they're busy, right? And then you are branded towards this, and then you understand every layer of that woman who is in corporate and stressed, and you know each layer of what they'll go through, to the point where if they don't do anything, it's game over, to the point where they know what they need to do to come back to here. And then if you know how to get them back to here, then you can sell them, hey, maybe you want to be a CEO of your company, or maybe you have other aspirations that you haven't achieved. So therefore, you understand your customer's journey from top to bottom. And in every phase of their life, you will always have a solution for them. You'll always have a guide, and you always spin it with your services. If you're selling mindset, if you're selling products and services, if you're selling anything at all, you can address those things. So I want to know, guys, because I know it's 4 p.m. and I'm going to give you guys assignment for today's workshop. Any questions that you all have in what I said? Has this been useful for you? Are you guys filling out this triangle as we're talking? Or do you guys are watching Netflix on another tab? That's something I forgot to say. Don't be browsing around when you're listening to this workshop. Where are you guys sitting at? Because I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now, my clients who have used my niche branding sales strategy, and this is part of it, they have extracted so many things from here that makes them universally useful, right? And obviously they will refer it to specialists and all that stuff to give them the best help. But at the first contact, it's like, I have this, I have that, I understand this. Because you got to understand your customers want to feel understood. You don't talk to them if they're in here as if they're here, right? Because there's a big gap of misunderstanding. So you got to understand that this has generated a lot of my clients, you know, some of them were in the real estate, they're making about hundreds of $1,000s. One of them is just a speaker. He's probably making about $5,000 to $6,000 a month speaking and understanding the layers of their customers' journey is very complex. But I just want to know, guys, have you found this useful? Yes, I filled out working on different ideas. So helpful, super useful. Okay, Catherine, drop off. Thank you so much. We'll watch the replay. Yeah, watch the replay. Caitlin saying super useful, super useful. George, I filled out working on different ideas. All done, so helpful. Thank you. Okay, Queen. Okay, guys. So what I wanted you guys, because I know you guys need to go, it's 4 o'clock, and I said it's only 1 hour, is I want you guys to fill out that triangle, and for you guys to take a snapshot of that triangle, that finished triangle, and post it in the group so that other people know how to do it as well. And the person who does post it and does it really cool, I'll pick it out and I'll do, because I'm actually doing a workshop every second day, so that I leave the next day for people who watch the replay, and they can actually do the homework. So the next class is on the 1st of May. I'll pick the best one and I'll use it as a case study, because the next day two, which is the alternate day, is your origin story. So then the origin story is basically, you gotta now that you know your customer's journey, you need to tie in your journey, right? And then you gotta meet them at certain points, because obviously we all have been through this at some certain point in our life. So if you open to page day 2, it says your origin story, which is, where's your humble beginnings? What was your short-lived success story where you really thought, for me, my short-lived success story is, I started off in corporate and I thought that money was what I wanted. So I thought being a mortgage broker would make me happy. So I got to a point, I've got this, this plaque saying, hey, you've done it, right? You're recognized, you've got all this significance. And then I went and wrote a book, which, my clients loved. But then I found out I was a better marketer at what I did. And because I loved marketing, I thought I'll do it. But because I didn't do it, I kept doing brokering. And what happened was I was making money, but emotionally I wasn't satisfied. And therefore there was this conflict, which was I kept doing what I was doing, but every day the value of what I was doing diminishes in terms of me being present with my clients, right? It was all about numbers. I saw that the industry there's so much compliance. There was so much things that I didn't want to do anymore, but I kept doing because that was what I knew, right? And even though I was doing a lot of social media for my own marketing, and I was helping other people and giving them results, I didn't believe in myself, right? It's only when I crashed, and my crash story was when my father passed away, and he told me, your son, don't live in regret. Like, if you have a dream and you have value to add and you think you can do it, just go and do it. And that was my pivoting point. My pivoting point was, why did I have to wait for my dad to pass away to realize I need to do something? Like, then I was like thinking, I should have done that earlier and showed him my success before he passed away. So that was my emotional story. So that's when you guys get a bit vulnerable, right? You gotta get vulnerable because some of you have really dark past that we don't share on social media. And that's the biggest no-no in terms of branding. No one wants to see the perfect hero. Especially when you go watch a movie, guys, you realize if you watch a movie and at the start the hero is like super powerful and everything that happened in his life, he gets the lady, he gets the bad guys, he has his superpowers, he has no setbacks, and then the movie finishes and there was 0 obstacles, you're most likely to hate the movie and ask for a refund. The same applies to your branding. You need to have an origin story, a short-lived success where you really thought that was life, and then it wasn't. I call it a false victory. In screenwriting, because I studied screenwriting before, because I like to do that on the side, it's called a false victory. And then what happens is there's a conflict between what you thought was real or what was true to what really is the truth. And it takes a point where there was a catalyst in your life, a crash story, where you totally crashed. For me, it was me crashing when my dad died, and me facing the fact that I don't want to live in regret. And he told me not to live in regret. I never listened to him. And then it pivoted for me. It was like, well, go and do what the hell you want to do with your life. So that's why I'm here today. And therefore, that's why I'm in front of you. And you guys have your own personal stories. I'm sure Catherine, Caitlin, I follow you guys on social media, Debbie, Mr. Dongo, that you guys have your own crash story. You guys don't have this perfect life that people seem to know that you have. And when you're able to produce that on social media, and I'm sure some of you have tried, but probably in an inconsistent level, that you need to sort of tie that story with your customer's journey. Because there are 2 things that separate a person that's successful online on social media and someone that's not successful. So a low income social media user versus a high income social media user, because I'm trying to not say coach, self-employed, because there's a lot of different occupations here. So a low income social media user versus a high income social media user, regardless it's on your personal page or your business page, whatever it is, a low income social media user only talks about me. Everything is me, 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 me. Look at this, look what I did. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. But I've got to say to you, on social media, if you want to produce a brand, a business brand, you got to focus on them, right? Who is your target market? How are you going to add value with your story about them? Do you understand each phase they're in? And can you sprinkle a bit of your personal story in each phase so you don't sound preachy, right? You don't want to sound preachy. You just want to say, hey, I've been through this as well, and these are the struggles that I faced, but I overcame it because of X, Y, and Z, and therefore I understand you, right? And therefore you're using story to reach them. So they know, oh, this is really about me, right? Because you got to understand your posts, your guides, and everything. It's just a mirror you're giving to them. So every time you post, you got to think, am I reflecting myself in this post, or is this post a reflection of them? Would it make them see that they're lost at the moment, or they're actually facing depression and they need to do something about it? Otherwise, you can tie it in your crash story. You didn't really do anything about it with your life. You struggled for many years, many years, until you really figured out that the only way to change your life was to adopt a certain set of mindset that you thought it was all woo-woo before. Or some of you might be in businesses that you spent countless years doing a specific system. Never worked because your old boss taught you this. Until you found out that there was a better way of doing it. And that wasted 5 years of your life, right? And therefore, you're teaching this right now, or you're using my service right now. Not only you're using my services for my awesome team, but you're getting why I'm doing it. Because you guys all know, you follow Simon Sinek, right? Simon Sinek is the power of why. People need to know why you're helping them. And the reason why you're helping them, because you understand their pain. Okay? People need to know that you understand their pain. And you're not just selling them because you want their money. Right? So the homework for today, guys, is I want you to pick in that triangle, because I'm trying to wrap it up. And for those guys, you can watch it later for the homework. And really do it, guys. So it's really simple. So fill in your triangle, take a snapshot of it, and post it in this Facebook group. And I want you to go to Google and find 3 links to a specific pain. So it might be about facing a breakup or loneliness. What are 3 links that address that problem? It's really easy. Just ask Google how to alleviate loneliness for target market, right? How to how to help with poor relationships for that target market. Have 3 links, all right? And I want you to just put that in a Word document. You don't need to share it. You just put it in a Word document. I'm not teaching you guys to plagiarize. I'm just teaching you guys to research, right? Research, and literally will take you like 5-10 minutes just to copy and paste, so that you guys will now know what the market is providing as suggestions to these people. And I'm teaching you that you don't need to really come up with your own tips. You just need to be able, this is the tip that I want to show you, is you need to be able to apply the 70-30 rule. All right? The 70-30 rule is you can keep 70% of the original material, but you just need to flavor it with 30% of your stuff. Okay? How do you flavor it with 30% stuff? Change a verb, change an adjective, move a sentence around, add your own story, and suddenly content becomes easier to write. You don't need to write from something from start to scratch. there's content that's out there. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. You are really busy people, I understand. Apply the 7-30% rule, but before you even do that and go around looking for stuff, you need to fill in this table to see what are the specific pain points of your client and what are you trying to solve, right? So do you guys understand what I'm saying so that you guys will actually do the homework? Like, can you guys let me know below that who would actually do the homework? Because you guys gotta understand this is a workshop. And what does that mean? You gotta work. You gotta work. Just let me know in the comments below that you guys will do it. And if you want, pick an accountability partner. Pick someone that will make sure you do it. Because at the end of these 5 days, you want to have 30 pieces of content. And it doesn't mean you're writing 30 pieces of content. I'm going to teach you how to write maybe several pieces of content and then repurpose them in different formats. Audio, video, quotes, pictures, right? And then you have that mapped out for you. But if you don't do the homework, you're more likely not going to do it because it will be pretty overwhelming for you. So I see in the survey, everyone's overwhelmed before jumping onto this course. I don't know how to produce content. Awesome, Kayla's doing it. Mr. Dongo's doing it. Georgie's doing it. Okay, guys, so I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to keep it to 1 hour and it's at 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I hope you guys found super value in this. There will be no workshop tomorrow because tomorrow is for you to go do your research. Trust me, this does work. It has made myself, my brand, because I literally started 6 months ago when I was a public speaking coach and still messing around with brokering and stuff. I literally did this strategy, worked out what my target is, started shooting out content. You guys have followed me. I talked about my refugee story. I talked about my dad. I talked about everything, and I started to focus on what was the pain. And the pain was video marketing. Not a lot of people are doing video marketing, okay? So start focusing on that and have successfully in 6 months made over $100,000, right? And you know, you can believe me because you can see that I put a lot of my clients up on the pictures, and you can count, there's literally about 10 to 15, and I charge, you know, high ticket. So but I'm not here to brag. I'm just saying I can do it, right? I'm not smart. I came as a refugee. My English is poor. I just utilize these hacks, understanding what they need so they can just produce content. And I'm winning the market because I don't need to wake up and think what content I need to do. I just batch it, and I probably do this every 2 months. I sit down and go, okay, what does the market need? So where is the problem for this business owner or this coach? What would he do if he doesn't do video marketing? Then I list it out, and then I'm like, oh, what type of guides can I do? Maybe I can do a 7-day video challenge, or maybe I can do this type of workshop, or maybe I can give them some sort of productivity guide, right? And it's totally changed my conversion. I don't need to jump on the phone and try to close them. It's more about, now it's about, well, I love your guide, you've helped me, but I'm not ready, because you gotta understand, they buy at their own pace. But then when they're ready, they jump on. But you need to do that because you need to know your customer's pace. So guys, hopefully that's really helpful, you guys. I'm gonna wrap this up, and I will see you guys on the 1st of May. And until then, produce your triangle. Your niche, your branding, and your sales is all in this triangle. It has helped many of my clients, and I will catch you guys very, very soon.
What brought me and attracted me to Quang was I had a service, I had skills and knowledge, but I didn't know exactly how to get those clients and how to communicate with them.
Hey, this is Quang Huynh, founder of Lionpreneur. Today is my masterclass, and this is a sneak peek of what you expect when you jump into my masterclass.
It's just totally next level. I've not seen any coaches that are doing the quality and the vastness of what he's covering in his course, in his coaching.
What I really like about Quang is he's quite proactive in his approach, and he really allows you to grow within yourself and for your own self-development. So Quang is fantastic.
In a way, you want that from a coach because he will get the best out of you.
If you want to join this exclusive club, hear more from down there.
What brought me and attracted me to Quang was I had a service, I had skills and knowledge, but I didn't know exactly how to get those clients and how to communicate with them.
Hey, this is Quang Huynh, founder of Lionpreneur. Today is my masterclass, and this is a sneak peek of what you expect when you jump into my masterclass.
It's just totally next level. I've not seen any coaches that are doing the quality and the vastness of what he's covering in his course, in his coaching.
What I really like about Quang is he's quite proactive in his approach, and he really allows you to grow within yourself and for your own self-development. So Quang is fantastic.
In a way, you want that from a coach because he will get the best out of you.
If you want to join this exclusive club,